Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nice to see everybody in here on this edition of Thirsty Thursday. Uh, oh, I already sent it to you, Rob. I sent it to you in your Facebook. I sent it to you the other day when I texted it to you too. I can send it. I can put it right out here if you like. Let's do that. And there it is again. There's 3 times. Hey, so welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to sit back here and hang out with Flthunder Diggin with Rob. The idea came in my head because here in about a day or so we'll be Floridians for a little short time, and who else better to talk to about Florida than Rob? So we're going to hang out with him tonight. My buddy Nick is in Gatlinburg hanging out with his family this week, taking a little rest and relaxation, and will not be here with us tonight. So you have to put up with me and Rob as soon as he gets in here on StreamYard. And he's coming in soon. A couple of quick announcements. Next week, there won't be a live stream on Thirsty Thursday. However, in its place at the same time, I'm dropping a video, and we'll try to make it for the premiere. Hopefully, I won't be too sunbaked. But we'll be dropping a premiere then for another video. I didn't want to try to do a live stream from down there and mess up. The last time we went to Texas, we didn't have enough internet, and everything wasn't quite set up. So, but I'm going to grab my good buddy Rob and get him on up here for a second.
There I am.
What's happening, man?
Not too much. I just was on the way back from Clearwater Beach when I called you today.
Yeah, well, you had your time a little messed up, so it wasn't. You had a couple more hours than what you thought.
Well, that's good because the time I got home and took a shower and got ready for dinner, it was like 10 after 7. So I'd have been rushing if I thought it was at 7.
See, everybody else gets Nick in here, or every now and again Alex shows up to hang out with us. But today it's just going to be you and me. Is that all right?
Oh, that's great. Rob doesn't read his IMC. Mark Thomas knows that I'm way behind on my Facebook.
Well, yeah, I just sent you. I sent it a couple times this week. Hey, I'm going to run through here really fast and go through some chat before we really get started.
Absolutely.
Because I see quite a lot of people in here that I wanted to say hey to today. I'm going to start back up here at the top. J-Man from Metal Sharks, thanks for coming by and hanging with us tonight. I really appreciate it. Mary Monarch's in here. She's been by a lot. I appreciate her showing. Monk Cheetah, my buddy. Say hi to Tango for us all. I'm sure she's sitting there with you somewhere. Frederick Romano. Man, and Frederick's a great dude. He supports all of us. Love that guy.
Hey, Frederick.
And then my buddy, the Magnetic Squatch. He's got a live stream on Friday nights that's usually pretty good. It's about 9 or 10 o'clock. He premieres a video and always is on there really good. He's fun to have around, and he's got a pretty good magnet fishing channel. Brandon Kinsler's in here tonight of the Kinsler Brothers. They've got a phenomenal magnet fishing channel.
Yes, they do.
If you got to get a chance, go see them guys.
Welcome, Brandon.
Yeah, it's nice of him. And Brockton Magnet Fishing. Brockton, man, Sean, he's my buddy. He sends everybody over all the time. This magnet fishing community, Rob, they are really something to behold. They're
pretty tight too.
They're a very tightly knit group, and they are all great people. I haven't met one yet that I don't like.
Well, I texted a bunch of them because a bunch of them are usually in Marlin Stream at 11:30, but they weren't mine. So I sat down on a Saturday night before my Sunday stream, and I texted like 28 people that would go to Marlin's, but not mine. And like 18 of those 23 responded to me. And the biggest group that responded and gave me the best response was the magnet fishing group.
Yeah,
and they have been a riot on my stream on Sundays.
Yeah, they're a fantastic group of guys. There's a whole mess of them that I really enjoy. The Michigan Magnet Man was the first one that I had in here, and we had a blast with him. And then from there on, everybody just kind of kept showing up, and I got to know a lot of these guys, and they're a lot of fun. Rue City Comics is in here tonight. Everybody go over and check out comics. there at Rock City. I'm sorry. I know I watch your channel some. I just can't quite remember it right off the top of my head. But yeah, comic book collectors, I like watching what they have to put out, and a lot of them live stream as well. Tom Riley is another one that's new in here tonight from Brockton Magnet Fishing.
Yeah, where's he at in Central Florida? Tom, let me know where you're at in Central Florida.
Yeah, because that's where we're going to be. That's where we'll be
Well,
all next week.
you're going to be in West Central Florida. Tampa's like West Central Florida, but when you say Central Florida, that can cover anywhere from Ocala or Inverness all the way over past Disney. So that's kind of a big area.
Yeah, we're basically home basing right around Orlando.
Oh, are you? Okay, so you're actually coming over to Tampa for a day.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're driving. We're home basing in Orlando, and we're going to kind of cruise around and try different things, and then to decide what we want to do the next time we come down.
Oh, cool. Okay, good deal.
But to Tom Riley from Central Florida, hey, if you're in here tonight, make sure that anybody that drops a link, you check out what kind of content they put out. Most everybody in here finds treasure of some sort, and everybody I'm sure would appreciate another sub and a couple of likes. As well as that goes for Janine Hasty. And she's another one that Sean sent over for us tonight. And I appreciate you stopping by. Same message goes to you as well.
Yeah, hello, Jody and Miss Alex. It's in the blood. The Bucks hat's just for you tonight.
Oh, she's got that. You got that Tampa Bay on against you, boo. He's beating you with a stick. She's trying. She was calling about getting the stadium tour set up for next week. So
yeah, I figured you guys would be doing that. That's awesome.
Mary Monarch done talked to Don, the metal detective. Hey, Don, just so you know, your prize package went out in the mail early this week, I believe on Monday, maybe Tuesday. I'm not sure which. It should be arriving very soon. It usually takes the regular mail to get down there about 3 days. So Squirrels Magnet Fishing.
I actually mailed off 7 silver coins 2 days ago, and a few people have already gotten them already.
That's nice.
So I'm trying to get caught up on all my giveaway prizes out to people, and I know Cynthia Swearingen already got hers.
That's fantastic. I went into I stopped by the Wednesday night Zoom call last night and didn't see you.
What time did you stop by?
Right around 9.
Yeah, what happened is being the Menardo that I am, I spent a bunch of time editing a night hunt video where one of the guys I was hunting with 3 other guys from my club, and one of the guys found like an 18-inch silver chain that weighed like 4.2 grams. I mean, it was a huge silver chain. It was marked 925. And another guy found a ring. I found an earring. So I put this whole video together, and then for some reason, I downloaded a video from last July on the beach. So my buddy Clearwater Mike, he sends me a text, and he's like, Rob, I watched your video and left you a thumbs up, but none of us are on the beach, and Howard's necklace isn't there. So, of course, I had to come home and watch it, and I'm like, you're such a Menardo. You put the wrong video on. But luckily, it wasn't a repeat. It was a video from last July on the beach that I had never published. So what I did was I changed the title and changed the thumbnail to reflect that hunt. So I was gone from the Zoom for about an hour while I was getting that editing, re-editing, and putting a new thumb on and all that stuff, and then I came back in.
Yeah, Pat cut you no slack. He basically said you done a dumb thing and posted a video from last year or something, and you were trying to fix it. So
yes. So hi, Southwest Florida Treasure Detecting. I just left a response to one of your comments.
So, and going on down, I've got Squirrels Magnet Fishing. Let's go on down a little bit. I want to get caught up here on the chat a little bit. It's in the blood.
Oh, NorCal Detecting's here. He's in my streams.
Heck yeah. That's Gary from NorCal Detecting.
Okay.
Jody Mosby, I'm unfamiliar, but welcome tonight. And if you feel like some content in here, check out these other guys that are dropping their links. Lots of good channels in here to watch. If you're looking for something to occupy your time, the folks in here put some content out for you.
Mr. Marlin's here from Mayor Videos.
Hey, there's AZ Mort Squad as well.
Yep, and, Arizona Mort Squad.
Yeah, Marlin, fantastic Sunday show. Got every week. It's better and better every week.
There you go, Jay, man. In the big Reese's Cup from Clark's Cove Detecting, they gave me up at Florida Hunt 7.
Uh-oh.
They knew I built like Reese's coffee cup, so they got me another one.
And then I see our good buddy Mark Thomas, and below that is Relic Reaper Metal Detecting. That's Don Garza. Hey, brother. And then my friend Sean, the Brockton Magnet Fisher, who's always super supportive of everybody. And then you mentioned SFL Treasure Detecting, the Dennis.
See, I gotta start remembering the newer people's names.
I'm trying.
I'll get there.
And then got where
Tom Riley said he's in Lakeland. Okay, that's only about 40 minutes from me.
Lakeland, Florida. That's in the NASCAR world. That's Joe Nemechek territory.
There you go.
God, that's a name from the past, right?
Hello, Rusty Magnets. Welcome. I don't know that channel, but maybe Shane does.
That is Clayton and
Okay.
Rusty Magnets. He had an interesting week up there in his neck of the woods. I don't know if he's talking about it much, but it wasn't necessarily a good thing. Kind of strange.
Okay.
American Woodland Relics. I've seen Paul in here. Also to Dive and Detect. Welcome, welcome. I bounced around a little bit because of chats, so if I missed anybody, apologize. Keep hitting it up.
NorCal 9 subs from 200. So guys, let's see if we can get NorCal his 9 sub tonight.
Heck yes. Luke Duke Outdoors is in here. That's another fellow Indiana guy. He's another one of the prospecting community. And you want to talk about another community that's great to hang out with. Spent some time with Flash in Your Pan Ed at Flash Bash. Nick and I did, and we had a blast. Videos coming really soon for our learning how to pan gold. We had a good time. I see Tidewater Magnet Thrower drop his link in here, Jacob. He's another one of these channels that's really good. I like.
Metal Sharks giving a shout out to go detect with anybody that gets up his way up there in the Panhandle area. He's done a lot of collabs with several channels. He did one with Pat, Park Rat Pat lately, and I detected with J-Man up at Florida Hunt 7.
Yeah, that Florida hunt might be something I want to try to do one time coming up. And then I know you mentioned before, but Mayor in here, Marlon's my YouTube pal. He's the one that kind of keep pushing me to come in here and play every week, and now I look forward to every Thursday night. So I thank him for that. I think we're getting close to the bottom.
Tidewater, if you sent me your address, buddy, you should have been one of the silver coins I sent off.
Yeah,
we got 33 people and 25 likes. So 8 of you need to hit that like button.
Heck yeah. Hey, so I had sent a package out to Tidewater, and I believe that was the one I sent to him, and it had one of them little phone pop-ups that you put on the back of your phone so that you can prop it up, and it had my logo on it, but it was basically the size of it was probably the size of a $50, and it being round, and somebody took it out of the package that I sent.
Yeah, that's why if I'm going to send anything that feels bulky through a padded envelope, I'll just put it in a box. Or I used to send coins out to Eastern Europe, the old communist bloc countries, when somebody won a prize, and literally like 4 out of 5 of them never got to the people. So I'll just send them like a $2 bill or a silver certificate or something if they win, something equivalent to the silver. So you just put it in a regular envelope, and it just looks like a regular letter, so people don't mess with it. And this way they can get something cool and unique from the United States, an old $2 bill or silver certificate or old U.S. Reserve note or something. So that's what I'm doing now. I have a bank teller, if you don't mind me saying, Shane.
Sure.
I have a bank teller that when anybody comes in with old silver certificates or Federal Reserve notes or, the red label, the old blue label, I save this stuff, and if somebody wins a giveaway outside the country, I send them a pretty cool, unique bill.
Very cool. Yeah, I got my connection is, and I got a video that I'm going to put out about it. Is I get all the oddball coins that the change machine doesn't accept at the truck stop where my wife works. So, and this last haul I got was really pretty interesting. So I'm going to make a video about it at some point. But I got like 40 things that I want to make videos on, and I don't always get them all done. So
I've got so many ideas in my head that I could never keep up with the ones I want to do. You're right. It's just, hey, let me real quick say, did you say American Woodlands Relics is Paul?
Yep.
Hey, Paul, we did get the rain. I was on Clearwater Beach this afternoon. I met some friends I hadn't seen in like 3 years that came to Florida. So we had lunch at one of the seafood restaurants on Clearwater Beach, and I brought all my gear, and we wrapped up lunch around 2:30, and I put my gear on and went out to the beach, and I started detecting north, and I went way too far north, further than I'd ever been. And then when I turned around, I mean, it looked like something out of Twister coming up on the sky, and I knew I wasn't going to make it back to my car. And the winds came up. I was telling Shane about this on the phone earlier. The winds came up, and then they started blowing the wind right into your face, and I had to turn my hat backwards to keep it from blowing off. It was like 30-mile-an-hour gusts, and literally the rain was so hard hitting my eyeballs. I told Shane, my eyeballs actually hurt, and they were all red, like I was doing dope or something, and they literally hurt for like an hour and a half. Shane, they're not hurting now, but so yes, we got tons of rain on Clearwater Beach, Paul, and then I got all the way drive from Clearwater to my girlfriend's house, which is like 35, 40 miles. It rained the whole way, and it just stopped raining now. So yeah, we're getting a lot of that rain, which is good because we have not had rain here in like 3 months. So we really needed this big downpour today.
508 Magnets. Josh is in here, and AU guys. Well, I don't want to do it like JP does it, but AU guys prospecting, and that's Charlie. Glad to see you guys in here hanging out with us tonight. More of them prospectors that we got to hang out with. Rob, I'm coming up with more hobbies than I have the time to handle.
That's why I can't. I mean, for you magnet fishing folks, I have done it several times. I love it. But the best time I ever had magnet fishing was the first time I ever did it, and I didn't take my camera, and it was the most I ever got. I got fishing reel parts, pair of pliers, and then literally at the boat dock, I pulled up an 8-foot rebar that I didn't have room for because I wasn't in my truck that day. So I set it down on the edge of the boat parking area, and sure as hell, when I came back the next day, that baby was gone. And then I started filming all my ones after that, and every one I filmed after that has been basically a comedy video because they've been epic fails. So yeah, I would love to add more magnet fishing to my channel because it's so popular. It's very fun. I think it kind of goes with the metal detecting because you're looking for stuff you can't see that you're not sure what's going to bring up when you get a hit. So thank you, Rock City Comments. I've never seen your channel, but now you're one closer to 2K. Thank you very much. Relic Reaper Meta Detecting said he tried to get into Zoom last night, but the password didn't work. Did you put the phone number down, Shane? I see you waving to people.
Oh, I was talking to Mark. I'm waving at people that's showing up late in the chat while you're talking.
Oh, okay. Snorkeling Adventures says I was raised in East Central Florida. Wow, we got a lot of Florida people here.
Well, I mean, I did kind of, you're in here and you're from Florida, so I'm sure that probably has something to do with it.
Well, I just never realized how many people. See, Southwest says Cape Coral. That's about 3 hours south of me. Has the volume from Shane's on show on the PC to make people think I'm watching it, but actually watching Pornhub. There you go, Mark, the Berg Hunter.
All right, Mark.
He's hilarious.
That dude, he cracks me up every time. He's always got something to say.
Wow, did you see Dive and Detect's comment?
Let's see. I'm looking for it. Man, they're going
up a little bit. If anybody's interested in the Dive Blue 3, they have a sale going on, and their Blue Nemo is 20% off promo for summer. Wow. I know Charlie just bought one from Digging It Back.
I seen one after. I post it again, Dive into Tech. Let me get it up. River Sticks Outdoors.
Mary Monarch says, can somebody put Rob's channel up? Marlon, do you think you could do that for me, buddy? Oh, Relic Reaper, if you're in Spring Hill's like 30, 40 minutes from me, buddy. Yeah, Spring Hill's like a straight shot up the highway for me, buddy. Our chiropractor's in Spring Hill. Yeah, Relic Reaper, you'd be right in my backyard, buddy.
So, I chose.
That's going so fast.
I know it's going pretty quick today. I want to get in and get in here and get doing some of the BS session with you that I wanted to get over with, man. So I figured I would use today as the opportunity to get some history on Rob, so that my Floridian friend, when I get down there, I know a little bit more than I do today.
There you go. Ask away, buddy.
But one of the things that really gets me curious is that I what was the first thing you remember looking for or wanting to do as far as treasure hunting goes? What lit the fire under you?
Well, I know a lot of people have gotten turned off from the show or whatever. And my girlfriend jokes that every time she walks by the TV and sees it on, she'll go, and they found nothing at the end of the show, didn't they? But uh, uh, Oak Island. Oak Island got me into metal detecting. I started watching that show, and the only person on that show, or the only thing finding anything, was the guy with the metal detector, Gary Drayton. I mean, almost every episode he found the Bobby Dazzler, the top pocket, or he found a piece of lead or a piece of something from a ship, or and nobody else was finding anything. And then he uses a mine lab. So what I bought the house across the street from my girlfriend's house about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, and it took me almost 8 years to rehab it from top to bottom, new roof to tile to everything in between. I ran out of money midway through, and I had to borrow money from a family member to finish it. But I finally finished it right when the market was coming up. And I staged it, and a guy came by and looked at it, and he loved the house. It was his first house. He made me a cash offer, just $2,000 less than what I was asking. I took it, and I said, out of my profit I made from this investment house, I'm going to take up to $1,000 and buy my first metal detector. And that's when I started watching Oak Island, and he used a mine lab. So I started doing research on mine lab, and so my first machine was a Xterra 705. This was about a year and a half before the Equinox came out.
So with that being said, your time in the hobby has been very short.
4 years.
And you're going to tell me that your whole life you never had any interest in any kind of treasure hunting, collecting?
Oh yeah, when I was like 11 or 12, we had a drugstore down here. I mean, they're all CVS and Walgreens now, but back in the old day, there was a drugstore down here called Eckerd Drugs that was a pretty big chain. And I went to Eckerd Drugs with my lawn mowing money when I was 12 years old, mowing the neighbor's lawn, and I bought me the 1999 metal detector, and I thought I was going to go out and find every piece of treasure there was. And obviously a 1999 metal detector doesn't work real well, so you don't watch Oak Island for the actual treasure. Yeah, that's pretty much right. 508 Magnets. I enjoy the show. I enjoy the guys on the show. So yeah, whether they find anything or not, I enjoy it. But yeah, so I'd always, and then I've always coin collected. I've got my. Let me turn the camera right up there, right above my finger. That silver old metal treasure case or whatever right there, that old lockbox. That's got my coin collection on it when I was like 8, 10, 12 years old. It's been sitting up there for 40 years. And one of these days I'm going to open it up and do a video. It's got all my wheat set penny books and all my, a few Buffalo nickel stuff I collected as a little kid. So yeah, I've been interested in coins and coin collecting. And I think treasure hunting or metal detecting is kind of an offshoot, or it goes perfectly with somebody that likes coin collecting.
Yeah, that's another one of the treasure collectors that are out there that, I like watching some of the coin videos and learning about the error coins and the misprints and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I learned so much watching Rob Finds Treasure and Diggin' Dave, not the Half Dollar Make You Holler. All those big channels, my coin roll hunting videos and stuff are pretty small compared to them. I've done some currency video checks looking for star notes and ladder notes and stuff like that, repeaters and radars, and I've learned all that from the bigger channels. So yeah, you're right.
Hey,
hi Deej, hi Kay.
Hey,
let me say something. Tommy River 6. I fried my phone, Tom, so I need your number, buddy. So send me a text with your name on it. I've only got 2 numbers I don't have anymore, Tommy, and yours is one of them. So send me a text.
The other day I was like, man, is Rob blowing me off? Because I couldn't get.
I had a day and a half with no phone, Shane. It was like it's like you're disconnected from the world without a cell phone.
Right. I mean, yeah. Well, if you put it down or it disappears, mine's in there on the charger, so I haven't heard it ding or anything for a few minutes. And every time I turn around, it's not in my hand, and I got a dog losing his shit over there. I'm not sure what's going on. But I was talking a little bit earlier, Thor. I was talking a little bit earlier, and was getting into the idea that that coin collecting is kind of weird. So, but here was the thing that happened is then I'm getting ready to make this video, and it's about what the Coinstar rejects. Well, one of the coins that we got out of there this week, that's a 2003 Arkansas quarter. And my wife kept running it through the machine. It wouldn't take it. Then she bounced it off the table, and she called. Shoot. Well, you heard it. She called me and she says, "Hey, I got this coin here, but it's a 2003, but it sounds like silver." And I'm like, "Well, we'll put it with that group, and we'll bring it in." And lo and behold, somebody opened a proof set and used these coins at a truck stop gas station. And there you go again. Now I ended up with the 2003 silver quarter that I never knew. A little bit of a spoiler from my video, but whatever.
Hey, no, you're just giving a tease for everybody to go watch the video now. So,
well, I haven't even put it out yet. It won't be out until the middle of next month. So I guess that's not much of a teaser. But
then they'll have forgotten and they'll watch it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is that it seems like anymore these coin machines at these truck stops, that's going to be kind of the focus, is that they are absolutely a great place to try to go and pick up coins. If you know somebody that works at one or is in control of a Coinstar and like a Walmart or a Myers or a Walgreens
now,
or whatever.
Do they use Coinstar at the truck stop?
It's a different style machine.
Our Publixes here have a different machine that are Coinstar. With the Coinstar machine, your change thing is flush with the front wall, so it's actually indented. You got to reach your hand in. But the one in Publixes, their coin change thing comes out, so you can see it outside the machine. And I have never ever found a coin in that coin machine at Publix. It's always in the Coinstar where it's kind of like hidden, and you have to look for it down there.
Yeah, so they in the truck stop, what they do is they run the coins like multiple times, and what happens is if it doesn't go through, it goes in these little black bins that they set aside, and they all have them. The Pilots, the Loves, all of them have them. And if you get in there and catch them at the right time, what I do is I offer them face value and give them exactly whatever I take out, I take all of it regardless. Now I do end up with a lot of Canadian and a lot of other foreign currencies. I just give them the equivalent to what size coin it is. And this last load that I got, it only cost me about $6 for what I took out of there. And lo and behold, it was a really good take. And Rob, if you could entertain the thing for just a second. I don't know what my dog.
Yeah, I got it.
Over. Hey.
Alrighty, guys. So as I was saying earlier today, I was metal detecting on Clearwater Beach for about 3 hours today, guys. And then the rainstorm came in. At the time I got back to my car, I was obviously soaking wet. And the windstorm and the rain came down sideways. It drove everybody off the beach. But I want to say hi to a few people in here. Somebody came in that I know that's new to my channel, Miss Lauren O'Reilly. Welcome to the stream. Little Dirt Diggers, hello. Tommy, I got your boo text, so thank you, Tommy. I knew that you now that you said boo on the stream. And
what's up, Willie? I like Willie Stembridge. I haven't had a chance to ever get him in here or like that, but I don't really remember seeing him in here a bunch, but he always comments on videos and such like that. He's another good one. My dog had lost his ball underneath a piece of furniture. He couldn't get it out, and he wasn't going to let it go.
Oh.
So you really, I mean, just here recently started into your coin collecting or started in with your metal detecting. What's your best find so far? I mean, what's the best thing that you put out of the ground?
I happen to have that right here. I never can put my hand on it, and somebody was asking about that last week, so I happen to have it right here, and it's going to blow your mind. And this is probably going to be the closest I ever get to a gold coin. I found this on an old 1912 property in the city of Zephyr Hills, Florida. Some of the Florida people will know that as. Zephyr Hills was a town that was started in the early 1900s by mostly Freemasons. It was kind of like a Freemasons community for all of them coming down from up north and from England. So this was in the yard of a 1912 house in Zephyr Hills. I'm going to zoom in on, I can do my zoom to where the metal gets zoomed in. That is a Freemason's key fob for his uniform. When he made Grandmaster 33-degree Mason, his lodge gave that to him, so it's got his name on it. It says Marble Lodge number 702 F&AM, which I found out stands for Free and Accepted Masons, Tuckahoe, New York, to Worshipful Brother Master Mason Samuel Benny, 1906. And then on the bottom right there, it says solid gold, and it's got the jeweler's name in New York City that made this in 1906.
Wow.
So it is a solid gold Mason's medallion, and they had this made up specifically for him, so it's a one of a kind. If you go on and Google Mason's medallions, they come up all different kind, and I have had so many people offer me, but it's solid gold. It's about the size, a little bit less than $50, and that's as probably as close as I'll come ever to a gold coin. And we showed this to the homeowner, and she said, Samuel Benny, the guy on your medallion, lived in this house 70 years ago, and she was in her 70s. She said, when I was a little teeny girl, like 8 or 9, we used to come here 60 years ago, and he let us pick his oranges off his orange tree. So this got featured on Adventures in Dirt with DK, Ken's weekly show.
Mm-hmm.
He featured this on his show, which I was very humbled and proud of. And then Ken is also a member or belongs to the genealogy website. I forget what it's called, where you can research your ancestry history.
Ancestry.com.
Yes, he belongs to that. And he researched this guy all the way back to his lodge in England, and from England to New York to the United States. And he was married. They had no children. His wife died. He remarried. His second wife died. Then his first wife's sister died. And the entire family line, we couldn't find anybody with a family line connected to this. So, but that's my best relic find ever.
I think that's going to top just about anything you ever find, to be honest, because
you're exactly right.
It's one of a kind. It's a personal item. You can't replace it. So therefore it's completely unique and has no real set value. That thing's priceless. Yes.
Thank you, 508 Magnets. I appreciate that. All right. Who's lighting up my phone here?
Hey, at least you got it.
Yeah. This, hang on. On Clearwater Beach today, guys, I was metal detecting. And as I'm metal detecting, I walked by these 3 ladies. 2 of them were sitting in the little low chairs right at the water line. And she popped out of her chair and she says, by chance, does your machine go underwater? And I said, yes, it does. And she says, we just lost a ring. It fell off my friends. It was a thumb ring. She says, it just fell off. They've been drinking a little. And she says, it fell off my thumb. I said, where is it? She says, right in front of her chair. I said, okay, move the chair. And I think I'm Drummond, Texas. I think I'm related, Rob. And anyway, they said, do you think you can find it? And I swear to God, on my second sweep, it just made my machine scream. And we had a really heavy surf today on Clearwater Beach with the wind and everything. And on my second scoop, it went quiet, and I put it in the dry sand and flipped it over, and the ring fell right out of a clump of the thing, and they all 3 screamed and got really excited. So not only did I get my 5 pieces of jewelry on the beach I found today, I found their ring for them. So,
yeah, anytime you can return something to the homeowner, that's always fantastic. But you know what? And one thing I never put on video was I did a short here recently about the gold ring that I found with all the diamonds in it. And then the best part about that whole day was when the homeowner got back from grocery shopping, and I asked him if it was his, and he said, nope, you can have it. And I was like, oh.
Wow, there's an honest guy.
Oh yeah. He didn't say no, just said, no, that's not mine. He's like, I got mine right here. Says,
I've never had anybody take a ring I've found. Well, I haven't found many rings in a yard. Most of my rings have been on the beach. I've only found 2 or 3 rings doing dirt fishing. But one lady I did find, we did a ring hunt for a lady at a lake. She was in her 70s, and she lost her mother's engagement ring from the 1930s, and it was white gold in a lake. And now, every lake in Florida has got alligators. So 3 of us went out there, and one guy went to the right, one guy went to the left. I started off in the center, and I was going to veer a little bit to the right. And like I I don't think I was sweeping a minute, and I got a 1 signal on the Knox, the Equinox. Now that's a low gold signal. Usually rings don't ring up that low. And I said, Howard, I got a 1. He said, I don't think it's going to be a ring. Well, I dug it up, and the signal wasn't there anymore. And after we got rid of all the crap in the bottom of my scoop in this lake, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'd taken like 5. I said, we're never going to find this ring in this lake. There was sawgrass and lily pads, and on my second scoop, when we took all the debris out of my scoop, her diamond ring was in there. And she was so excited. They had like a little 20s bungalow. She said, you guys can go ahead and hunt the property. And I found a silver 925 earring, and she said it was her daughter. So I was able to give her ring back to her, and then find an earring for her daughter.
Yeah, I don't think there's any better feeling than finding a lost item that somebody lost and it was personal to them that they missed desperately and wanted back. The appreciation of that is fantastic. It's such a good feeling.
It is. I mean, I when our metal detecting club, SRARC, Suncoast Research and Recovery, we are the largest ring finders organization in the world. We have returned over 600 lost pieces of jewelry to people in the Tampa Bay area, mainly because the way the ring finders work, when you pay to be a member of ring finders, you get assigned a certain area. So our club got assigned the entire beaches from just south of Denise's house all the way down through the end of the county, over the Skyway Bridge into the next county. Our club controls all those beaches for ring finders. So we literally get 6, 7, 8, 10 ring finder calls a week. And there's like 20 of us that are just running all over Tampa Bay finding rings and lost jewelry for people. And, we have about a 70 to 80% recovery rate. And obviously the faster you get out there, and especially like if the people stay where they lost it, then the better chance. But I get very bummed and upset when I can't find the ring. I want to find that and reunite that ring.
Yeah, that's definitely the cool thing about it. I mean, that's one of the better angles, to getting permissions, is that everybody says that they've lost something, and a lot of times, giving them the opportunity for it to be found allows you the opportunity to swing a nice yard or piece of property. You don't always find what you're looking for, but the fact that you go out and you try for people, they're a lot of times are very appreciative of it.
Yeah, look at J-Man. He's got a comment here where he found a Black Hills Gold Cross at a country place of a family friend. Very nice. And to dive and detect, she says ring finders is too expensive for Jersey. Since my club does not charge a fee, we do everything on a donation basis, and when I say donation, we don't ever charge anybody gas, tolls, no nothing. We pay for it out of ourselves. But still, even during the COVID year last year, our club brought in over $6,000 in donations for us, all the rings we found, and we ran our club budget, our club treasury, on ring finders. This year, we're probably going to top $9,000. We're on target already to top $9,000. So obviously, we have a very active club with a healthy. But I didn't realize. I thought ring finders was a donation organization. I didn't realize it was actually a for-profit that clubs pay to feed a ring finders, and then you got assigned a territory, and then when those people called, they assigned that person to the person in that territory, and then you negotiated with the people. I never knew that till like 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. There is nothing like that here. There was a couple clubs close to here. They all shut down. Nobody really does anything. There's about, 6 to 10 guys in our area that travel around and detect, maybe a few more, but there is nothing like that. Just word of mouth offering up is how we usually drum up some of those, and we haven't had the best of luck with it, but we do find some things. But a lot of times people aren't sure where they lost something. They think, and that's
I mean, almost all the ones that say I think, we never find those.
Yeah.
But I mean, I left a club picnic. We had our semi-annual club picnic and fun hunt down at Fort DeSoto Park, and I told the club president I was heading to Clearwater Beach to go detecting, and my phone rang. I was about 20 minutes away from Clearwater Beach. He goes, "Hey, we just got a call Clearwater Beach. There's a U.S. Air Force guy and his wife there with his buddies, and they were throwing the football, and his ring came off, and they are standing in the exact same spot that he threw it. And I told him that you're heading to Clearwater Beach to go detect. You think you can handle this?" I said, "Absolutely." And it took me like 45, 50 minutes to get there. And his one buddy was really drunk, and he kept calling me all the time, and he was really getting on my nerves because he was really getting he was really getting nasty with me, and I finally hung up on him. And then I got another call from the guy's wife, and I said, listen, if that guy calls me again, I'm not coming. He's drunk. He's an asshole. And they said, no, we won't put him back on the phone. She says, you get here when you can. We're standing here. And I finally was able to find a parking spot. It was really busy parked. And within 5 minutes, I had the ring because they were standing right where they lost it. And they gave me a perfect place to look. And boom, there was his ring. So, yeah, if the sooner you can get there, the best location that people can give you are the better probability you got to find in their lost jewelry item.
Oh, absolutely. And Willie, I got two that I'm in love with. One is the gold ring with the 6 diamonds that I was talking about. That was 14 karat. Had it cleaned up and appraised at about $1,500, and it's sitting in a pill bottle in my safe. The next one, as far as a coin goes, is I got a half real that had been melted in a fire, but I found it in a spot that nobody ever knew that there was a residence on. Research got us this spot. And it's a half real. I can only get one number off the date, and I can only see enough of it to identify it. But it's still my favorite find, Spanish silver. There's probably not much else out there besides a gold coin that I was really looking for.
Oh, yeah, Spanish silver's got to be way up on my bucket list. Absolutely. When Gypsy came down here in 2019, I got a chance to meet her and half a day with her. But the year before she was here, her machine broke, and she contacted Phil Myers, who's got Myers Metal Detecting down here in Tampa, a big metal detecting store. And she found out he was here, and he also is a member of our club. And she went into Phil, and Phil got her machine going, or gave her a lender machine, and then she hunted some with Phil. But when she was doing down around Treasure Island, which is about 10, 15 miles south of Clearwater Beach, there was a couple shipwrecks down there 200, 300 years ago, and she pulled up a part of a piece of Spanish treasure. It was like a quarter cut, and I don't know if it was a half real, but it was just a quarter pie shape. But she pulled it out of the west coast of Florida here, which is fairly rare.
Yeah, treasure hunting SWPA Matt is in here tonight. I know he watches some of my videos on occasion, but that's one of the other than some of the big channels, that's one of the first smaller channels that I actually watched on YouTube, and I've always followed him, and it was probably because he used to use that Ace 350, which I had one, and there wasn't many people using it, and he used it out quite a bit, so I had an affinity for his videos, and I've always watched everything he puts out. Nice to see you in here tonight, Matt.
Dive and Detect says that he or she explained that the coverage area is too small. Yeah, if you're paying 30 or 40 or 50 bucks a year to belong to, and you get an area so small that you probably won't get any calls, I can understand where it's expensive. Willie Stembridge says it's an obsession to find those rings and nice find. Yes, it is, Willie. It's freaking. People call this a hobby. I call it an addiction. I really do.
Yeah, thanks, Willie. I appreciate that. It was those are a couple that I really enjoyed. I have a couple other ones that I don't even know if I made videos at the time, but I got like an 1822 half cent that I thought was a clad quarter when I dug it up because I'd never seen one before. I really didn't even know what it was until I started seeing stars on it. And then at first I thought it might have been a V nickel. I mean, I was how much I didn't know. And then a couple large cents that I really enjoyed. The gold coin is high up on that list of something I want to find. Mr. Lodak is in here tonight. Welcome, Mr. Lodak. That's another one of the prospecting community. How you doing tonight? What are you looking for, Rob?
Do what?
I said, what are you looking for? What's something that you're trying to find this year?
Well, I've been trying to find it for 2 years. My number one bucket list is 1800 silver. I have a 1900 barber, and I've got like 7 barbers, but they're all 1900s, and I just can't seem to find that 1899 silver. So obviously I want either, an 1899 barber, or I want my first seeded coin. I don't have a seeded coin.
I'm with you there. I don't have a seeded coin. The only 1800s coins I got besides half cents and large cents is I got a few Indian heads, and I got a shield.
So you say that casually, and all the big channels, especially the guys up north, they find large cents and old British coppers like it's Pez candy.
Yeah.
Dalton, Troy, and I have all found one Canadian largie, and I mean we all pretty much flipped over that because, I mean, what the hell's a 1906 Canadian largie doing down in Tampa Bay? But All of us have found one, and Dalton, on a permission that him and I got, the neighbor told us that there used to be three 1890s houses there, but he says guys have been hunting that field for 10 years. And I said, well, who owns it? And he says, well, the church owns it. And I said, do these guys have permission? The guy goes, I don't know. Well, we're not going to hunt somebody's property without asking permission. So we went over and asked the principal of the church school, and he said, yeah, you guys are fine. Let's go right over there. And like I say, this place has been hunted for 10 years. The guy says he sees people out there almost every weekend. And Dalton pulled an 1856 seeded half dime. So he got three bucket listers in one. He got his 1800 silver, he got his first seeded coin, and he got his first half dime. He got three bucket listers off of one silver, and he said it was like a squeak of a signal. And then what was funny was 2 weeks later, him and I and Troy were hunting a 30s property, and I got a Canadian half dime. It was 1900s, but it was a Canadian half dime, and he happened to have his with him. And we put them right on top of each other, and the Canadian half dime is the exact same size as the American half dime, which a lot of Canadian American silver are.
Yeah, and what I've noticed is that I've only seen two seeded coins ever found, and they were both half dimes. And the funny thing is that regardless, I guess since coin making wasn't an exact science, the silver content sometimes is a little different in them, and a half dime usually rings a little bit low. Sometimes sounds around a penny.
Yeah, his was actually lower than a penny. It was like a 17, which would be just like basically be like a Indian head penny.
Yeah, and that's probably why it may have gotten passed over in that field, because they're regular silver signal hunting, and they're not looking for that type of a signal, or they're just passing by.
I got 5 pieces of jewelry today. I got this in the dry sand, which is just a little studier ring with like a little snake or something on it. That rang up a zinc penny. I thought I was going for a zinc penny. I know actual guys that will not dig a zinc penny signal. So you're going to miss something like this. This little, I don't know if it's an earring or what it is. I'm going to hold up to the camera, Rob. It's got a cross, it's got a circle, and then it's got some little mother. Oh no, that's Jesus. Where's the camera at, Rob? Yeah, it's got a profile of Jesus. I don't know what the circle thing is, but it's a little 3-piece of jewelry that rang up like a 17, 16, like a bottle cap. So if you're not digging everything on the beach, you're going to miss stuff.
Yes, sir. I dig. I don't ignore signals most of the time. If I'm in a yard and I dig a pull tab constantly, and then I come up with a good signal that's still in that same range, I still keep digging it. If I'm going to dig 100 pull tabs, I'm going to dig 100 pull tabs. If it's solid, I'm digging it, because I don't want to take the chance of missing something.
Well, I don't find a lot of nickels, because I hate digging 12, 13s, because whether you're on the beach or whether you're in somebody's yard, it's usually going to be the old beaver style pull tab. But Dalton finds a lot more nickels than me. But the last one I dug it because it seemed like a heavier, thicker signal, like it was something a little more substantial than a pull tab, and it turned out to be a nickel that I actually got Wednesday with Troy and Dalton. And you can't always tell the difference in the signal, but sometimes a signal feels a little heavier. There you go, Marlon. Don't skip those pennies. Shane K has a really good question here. Has anyone actually ever made up a bucket list on their computer or on paper? No, Kay, but that's a really good idea. I did a bucket list when I went to my Maryland trip once, and I wrote it all down and put it in an envelope so I could do a video and show what I found when I opened up the envelope, like an old Johnny Carson Karnak with the open the envelope. And Kay, I did so bad on that trip and didn't find anything that I promised myself I would never write stuff down on another road trip, because I just jinxed myself.
Yeah, I'm really anxious. I want to dig up east somewhere where there's a chance for some of the colonial stuff. I haven't seen anything at that out here except for the one Spanish silver. We're really it's really strange where we're at. We were settled in the very late 1700s, early 1800s, when the people first started arriving in this area. But the thing of it is just that I'm in a heavily detected area too, so it makes it kind of tough in all the obvious locations. But I would like to see some of that. British coppers would be really nice. I think that'd be great. I'd love to go to England. I've
actually only heard of, besides Florida Hunt 7, or actually Florida Hunt 6, where I saw the guy come in from the field with the large scent. I've actually only heard of one other large cent being dug here in Florida, and that was the guys over in Ocala near Orlando. Dwight, what's Dwight's group? The New Age Goonies.
Yeah.
They found one.
You
Hello,
know,
Mona. Hello, Mr.
that's
Lodak.
oh, so that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of cities in Florida that are fairly old, right? I mean, what's the history? When did the settling and trading really pick up in that state?
Well, you had like 1830s here, but that was like small communities when you had your skirmishes with the Seminole Indian. The two Seminole Indian Wars, I think, were 1830s and 1840s. So there's a fort down in Bradenton. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a fort down there. Simon from the Weedy Boys and his partner Andrew went out there, and Andrew found they got permission on like a church property across the street from where the old fort was, because the fort area had been hunted out and it was now private property. But they did a big church field across the street, and Andrew actually found a button from the Seminole Indian Wars period.
Wow, so that's like War of 1812 type style.
Well, like 1830s, yeah, but yeah, pre Civil War button.
Yeah, I like looking at those artifacts because if you get researching them and studying them and stuff, the neck on the eagle, how it's turned,
Yes.
there is so
Yes.
many different variations in that, and you can actually positively identify a lot of military buttons by that one feature.
Well, if you looked at my video I did a couple weeks ago with the Marine Corps hat badge, the Eagle Globe anchor, I found out that it was actually a World War One globe eagle pin, because the World War II ones, on the one the Dalton found, it's got the longitudinal and latitudinal lines, so they look like little squares with the lines going across. And then in World War II, they changed it just to have the lines going across, and then the eagle's wing didn't touch the anchor. There was a gap there, and just those two little differences made the difference between the World War I and the World War II. Come to Georgia, all the Civil War relics and coins here. Willie, I would love to hunt Georgia. I really would. I will tell you right now, the reason I bought an Equinox 800 as opposed, I waited 6 months to get my 800 because everybody was sold out. Everybody had the 600, and I kept saying, I can get a 600 now. And my girlfriend said, nope, you want the 800? Wait for the 800, you're going to be disappointed. And I waited for it, and the reason I bought it is because she had some friends that had a cabin up in the mountains near Ellijay, Georgia. And I knew that was one of the centers of gold mining before the California gold rush. Delaney or Delahane, Georgia, whatever, was a big gold rush area. And I specifically wanted the 800, so it had the gold setting. So we went to Georgia, and then right after I got my 800, they sold their property in Georgia.
Speaking of that Equinox 800, both Nick and Kurt, the two guys I swing with consistently, they both use it. I've got to play with it as much as I want. I really like that machine. And it's funny, the reason why I don't own one for myself is basically the fact that I don't like the fluty tones of the Mind Lab. I don't know why I don't like them. They just bother me. And that's the only reason I don't consistently, I don't get one for myself. I like the way my Nocta sounds. I like the way it's just something about the sound of that Equinox that I don't particularly care for.
I understand that, because I'll be honest with you, Dalton and Troy hunt in Park 2, and I cannot stand that. I know Park 2 sometimes is more set up for field hunting and silver, and maybe that's why Dalton finds a lot more silver coins than me, because he consistently hunts in Park 2. I cannot stand the tone of Park 2, Shane. I completely agree with you. I love Park 1, but there is a huge difference between Park 1 and Park 2, and I just don't like the tones in Park 2. Magnetic Swatch, thank you very much for that awesome comment. There you go, Cynthia. Hi, Miss Cynthia. Everybody's #1 fan right there, Cynthia Swearingen.
Right on.
And to Dive and Detect says the tone in the VDI can change after the first scoop. You are absolutely correct there, Dive and Detect. Absolutely correct. They said dig everything. River Stick says if you ain't digging trash, you ain't digging rings. Tommy, you're exactly right. Like I say, I got 5 pieces of jewelry today, and here is the best thing out of the 5 of them that I found was this little silver cross, and on the top piece it's marked 925. That's the first piece of religious jewelry I found on the beach in quite a while. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of machines do this, but this is what the Knox does. I mean, look how teeny that little butterfly is, guys. And I got that at the waterline today on the beach. That was my first piece of jewelry. And then this came in like a 15, which is like a pull tab. It's some little charm with a little chain on it. And you can see with the chain that rusted how long that's been down there. But somebody didn't dig that because it rang up a trash signal.
Oh yeah, you got to dig everything. The last silver that I found was next to a piece of can slaw, and one was kind of masking the other, bringing the other signal down. I mean, it's a solid signal is a solid signal. Just dig it. I mean, if you don't, you're going to miss something.
Yeah, Marlon says don't skip them pennies. He says a gold ring gave him a penny signal. That lady's ring today, the lady that asked me to find her ring. I was expecting like a 10 tone or 15 tone for gold. Man, it screamed at me 22, 23 with the Knox, which is a copper penny signal. It screamed at me. And I immediately found it. But then again, my last gold on Clearwater Beach was 2 weeks ago. Now I'm giving up a secret for a video, Shane. I'm gonna have a video coming out with my first piece of white gold that I've ever found. And it rang up. It didn't ring up a gold signal because it was white gold.
Yeah, what did it hit on your Knox?
I want to say like an 1820, more like a zinc penny. And that's why when it came out, I thought it was 925 silver. I could see a marking on it. I just couldn't read it because it was so small. And then when I got home and I sat here at my loop, it said 14K Italy. And I took it to my jeweler, and my jeweler confirmed it. Willie says he digs everything.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Tommy, right there. I've seen gold way down there, close to an iron signal, and I've seen it all the way up, right at a silver signal, just underneath, depending upon the density and the size of the piece. I have
never had a silver ring or two silver rings ring up exactly the same. Every silver ring I've had. Yeah, there you go. Tommy says he's seen. Yeah, Tommy. I've gotten from 1 to 20, Tommy. Diving Texas 13 to 16 is a pull tab and bottle caps. Yep, usually on the beach, that's exactly where they ring.
Yeah, I mean, you got those numbers that are common, but at the same time, you just can't ignore them. You just can't, because as soon as you do, you're going to miss something that you want, especially if you're on an old site, because you just don't know. And yeah, Matt, I dig a lot of iffy signals too, and that's why a lot of my videos take a while to get through, because I dig everything.
Wow, skeleton key and an IHP in the same hole. That's a great freaking hole.
That is.
I've gotten 3 skeleton keys in my entire career, and I'll be honest with you, when I found my first one on my 1918 permission, I was so excited. I never thought I'd find a skeleton key in Florida, and I have 3 now, and they're 3 of my most prized relic possessions. So congratulations there, SWPA. Lauren O'Reilly says she's never found a standing or walking coin. Only been detecting a year. Did find a big silver ring last year. Lauren, it'll come. I still don't have a standing quarter. There you go.
That's my walker.
My very first $50. I didn't even put it in a 2x2. I put it in a plastic case because I never thought I'd find another one. Oh, don't even tell me I don't have it here anymore. All right, I guess we're not going to be seeing my first $50.
So Rob, we have a site that was very similar to your Indian Wars, and down there in Florida, it was post 1812. It's I did several videos on it early on. It's called Barbersville, and there was a fort out there. Barbersville was the town, and there was a fort out there, and they were trying to establish a new town, and the Indians kept fighting them off. So the military sent troops out there, and they built a fort and a community. Well, there was the old house that the general lived in out there, the commander of the thing, and then there's this whole big field where the military. It was like a block tower is what it was basically was, so that they could fend off these Indians. And at that house, we dug that house 100 times. 2 or 3 good coins that came out of there, but probably the best find that came out of there, and it was my first one, was my first big skeleton key. And
that is awesome.
It's huge and it's gigantic. And the thing of it was, at the time we were digging pieces of aluminum siding because of they had tried to redo this block house for so many years. And it was in the ground, and it was, that's all it was the same signal. It was on the Nokta at the time, it was an 82, and 82 is just right around a penny or aluminum, thick aluminum, and lo and behold, that was the first one I got. And then I got two more, and the second one I got, honestly, was the exact same key, but it was I found it at a different location. I mean, it's exact same make, nothing different about it. I got two identical ones. And then the funny thing about the third one, Rob, the third one's a small one, and that's when the weekly dirt. That was the time that he decided to put something on there that I found, and my camera had dirt on the lens. It was smudged. My editing was horrible that day, and that's the one that he chose to put on there. But we found this old school on GIS map, and we were just going out to where these old schoolhouses was, and this guy had just planted a field, and we went out there and found a few odds and ends, and so he liked that video and he put that clip on there. But that was probably one of my worst clips that anybody could ever use for anything, but it was still cool. I was glad to be on his channel.
My first gold ring, I didn't even have my camera out. When I found it, I had to run back to my car and get it. And the editing, the clip, it's probably one of my worst videos. My first gold ring I ever found. I was new, and it's just a horrible video. So it was my first gold ring. I want to answer a comment Deej made. She wrote, Digging with Deej wrote, you would think people would find more Spanish silver in Florida. Deej, they do, but on the other coast. And here's the problem with the other coast. When you go to Vero Beach, a lot of people know that Denise and I are members of Disney's Vacation Club, and they have a huge resort right on the water on Vero Beach. And you go down to detect it, and they actually have a plaque there on the Disney resort saying that the Spanish fleet of whenever it was, 1812, 1787, whenever, the Spanish fleet went down literally like 50 yards off the beach where the Disney resort is. So when you do that section of Disney, or the beach there in Vero by Sebastian, that is actually the only beach in the state of Florida, maybe some in St. Augustine, that you cannot detect the water because the salvage people have bought the rights to that water through the state of Florida. And that's where all the Spanish, most all your silver coins in the Mel Fisher Museum down there and everything, a lot of that came out of that Spanish fleet there in Vero Beach. And I've seen guys, when I first started detecting, I had my little Xterra 705 doing the dry sand, because you can't put that machine anywhere near salt water because it just goes crazy. But when I was doing the dry sand, I saw a guy walking down the beach. He had some homemade looking rig. I bet his coil was 2 feet around, and he was doing the dry and the wet sand because you couldn't go into the water because that was sold. Those rights were sold. But he was trying to find an old real or Spanish coin or piece of 8 and a foot deep in the dry sand. And guys go there after the big storms, and they do find some silver. But mostly, Deej, it's on the east coast of Florida that you find the silver.
Yeah. So is that's the deal? The salvage rights have been purchased on the west or the east coast.
Yep. And somebody here put St. Augustine. So yeah, St. Augustine, there was a lot of shipwrecks, but that's all salvage area too. Willie says, I really miss my New York City parks, plentiful coins. I'm telling you, Willie, they pull some incredible stuff out of those old New York parks. I mean, that is old ground.
But yeah, I mean, just think hundreds of years people have frequented those parks. So I mean, I'm guessing that it'll last for a while.
I want to get up there, and I will tell you one thing. I have family in Baltimore, and I try and get to Baltimore every 2 or 3 years. But I will tell you, I really want to get up. I am fascinated with Dead Horse Bay and Merrill's videos. I want to go. What do they call that? Mudlarking. Yeah, I'm dying to go try mudlarking. That looks cool as hell.
It looks like it would be. I mean, it looks like it's profitable. It looks like it's not a waste of time, especially in a spot like that. But just imagine that much litter. That's the only thing it gets me at the end of the day. There's so much trash there. The blatant disregard for our environment is just kind of kills me just seeing it.
Oh yeah, apparently back then when they did that Dead Horse Bay, there was like just dumped the shit at the end of the ocean there, and nobody paid any attention to that. Willie says he swings both up. Sorry guys, we had red tide. We had red tide hit our beaches this week, and it's made my throat a little dry. Equinox is a very sensitive machine, hands down. I agree, Willie. Cynthia says the huge gold ring Richard found rang a 19. Tommy's giving me the different settings for his gold rings. Yeah, it depends on the grade and the thickness, the shape of the roundness. Yeah, Marlin, everybody's right. Treasure Hunting Southwest PA says he digs some iffy signals too. Dalton gets a lot of good finds on iffy signals. I dig them, and maybe like 1 out of 20, I get a decent find. Usually, like 15 out of 20, I can't even find a target. It's so iffy. But Dalton's made a career out of finding good items. But see, he wears earbuds. He doesn't wear headphones. He wears earbuds. So, like, he can still hear me yell to him, but that earbud just gives him enough sensitivity that he may hear something that I may not hear not wearing headphones. I just don't like having headphones on because I just don't like people coming up on me that I can't hear. That's just a personal thing.
Yeah. I'm just one of those guys that likes to dig everything. I'm scared I'm going to miss something if I pass the signal box. Woo.
Trash numbers are good numbers too, just not all the time. That can be true too. And I was trying to find when you were showing your skeleton keys, Shane. If people look, they saw my eyes looking all around. I've only made one display case ever, and it's got my 3 skeleton keys and a skeleton key lock cover that I found. And I took it to my metal detecting club meeting to show it off as just a, not to vote on, just as a display. And I don't know what the hell I did with it. It's my only display case I've ever done. Cynthia says a skeleton key and a thimble are her top bucket listers. It's funny. There are a lot of people that have not found a thimble.
See you, Clayton.
Thank you.
Yeah, Clayton, give me a holler if you want to chit chat anymore, buddy. But I hope you're well.
Martin Randolph Relic Recovery. He has not found a thumb. What do you call it? Thimble, and it just drives him crazy whenever I do a video with a thimble in it.
Yeah, I've only found a couple, but I've never found a silver thimble. So I mean, that's kind of high on the list.
I did a property on the outskirts of Tampa, in an old section of a suburb of Tampa. Probably one of the areas I'm hoping to take you and your daughter to. And I got this big 1924 corner lot, and I hit that thing hard by myself. I pulled like 13 Wheaties out. I pulled a bunch of relics out that day. I had a great day. And then she allowed me to come back a week later with Dalton. And I swear to God, the guy goes out there, and in an area that I hammered, he pulls out a silver thimble, his very first ever silver thimble.
Oh.
And I'm like, why didn't I find that last week when I was here?
You just missed it. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's Kurt and I, we will go over each other's spots wherever we just detected, and it always something turns up right where we just were. And it's not, I don't know that it's, you just, maybe your swing is a little off at that time and you miss a section or it doesn't hit right. I don't know, but we always find something that each other misses.
Yeah. And we always go over each other's areas. Now you asked me earlier about my best find ever, Shane, and it's obviously that gold medallion. On my 3rd day metal detecting, I found that.
See,
it is what they call a biker's ring. It's first off, it's freaking huge. It's a full 1 ounce silver ring. It's just massive. It's got an Aztec or Mayan god on top of a pyramid. You can see how freaking big it is. And I found this my 3rd day metal detecting on a church property where a carnival comes to every year. And obviously the guy was on some spinning ride or something, and this went flying off his hand. This is my 3rd day metal detecting. It was my first ring I ever found 4 years ago. And I just thought, this is the easiest hobby in the world, and rings are just going to fall out of the sky at my feet. And I didn't find another ring after this for 5 months.
It's kind of like the first time when you go to the slot machine and you hit a little baby jackpot. You're hooked at that point. I mean, there's no turn back. Yeah, I was Lauren O'Reilly said that she just got an Ace 400 and learning how to use it. That's a fairly deep machine. It's a pretty good one to learn on. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's not bad at all if you're just learning. I mean, I wouldn't knock it at all.
No, there's been a lot of videos with a lot of good stuff found with that machine.
Yeah, I mean, it goes deep enough where you got the potential to find most anything that as deep as we're going to get normally around here.
Did you see what Mr. Lodak wrote?
No, I did not.
Every time I detect graveyards, all I find are skeletons and no keys. LOL.
God. Well, yeah, there's a comedian every night, right? I mean, so that's the thing is that we're going to be stationed in Orlando while we're there. We want to hit that west coast of Florida. Alex and I are coming to Tampa that at least one whole day. She wants to do the stadium tour, and I want to do that and swing with you. So what do we got?
Literally 5 to 10 minutes from the stadium, we can be on 1920s properties. And if we don't get a door knock in the area that Dalton and I have been hitting, the curb strips there are like 8 feet wide.
Oh wow! Nobody ever griefs you over curb strips.
Oh yeah. If you watch my video with Troy where the cops got called, that's my only detecting video that's ever gone viral. It's got 19,800 views. When Troy found his two, and this is the only video I've ever seen. I've been watching YouTube for over 4 years, and I have never seen somebody pull 2 standing Liberty quarters out of the same hole. And I was filming it live when Troy did it. And when the second one, he got the first one out, put his pinpointer back in, and there was another signal. And when he brought his hand out and moved the dirt with the pinpointer, and it was a second SLQ, we both screamed so loud that the homeowner came out of his house and started yelling at us, what were we doing digging up holes in his front yard? And Troy tried to explain to him very nicely that we were on county easement, and the guy was just so pissed off at us he wouldn't listen. And we were already on to another segment when 2 St. Pete cruisers pulled up.
Yeah, I think that was the first video of yours I saw, honestly. I mean, go figure, that would be the first one that anybody sees probably.
Well, it got me over 200 new subscribers. One video.
Wow. And that's the thing. When did you decide that you wanted to make videos? When did that come into your brain?
It's really funny. I'm gonna tell something that I don't usually announce on YouTube, but I've realized it's been 27 years, and usually nobody gives a crap. But when I was a police officer for 10 years here locally in the Tampa Bay area, and one of those 10 years I was undercover narcotics detective, where I was undercover for a year and never reported back to my police department for a year. And so for a long time, I mean, I had the fake driver's license, I had the beard, the earrings, and I was out there buying dope and doing all kind of stuff. And so, I mean, guys at my police department didn't even know who I was. So for a long time, for like 15, 20 years, I never did social media. And then Denise had the YouTube page where she was just doing like an occasional fun video. And I decided, she signed me up for a Facebook page, but I was never on it. But you know what? I decided, I'm going to have fun with this new metal detector. So I started my first video with unboxing my 705.
Wow. Yeah, that's got to be a tough life being an undercover cop. I mean, I can't even imagine how. I got to think that would be miserable, to being in an area and doing something that that you despise. I mean, I know you're doing it for the greater good of society, but just to be living that lifestyle.
Oh yeah, there's two sets of people. There's 2 sets of people I can't stand: thieves and drug dealers. And I was out there, buying and selling drugs with all these people that I really couldn't despise, and then you have to act like they're your best friends. Yeah, you're right. The problem with that is I had a great squad of guys, and every Friday night we'd all go to the movies. 15 of us guys go to the movies. We'd head back to somebody's house. After the movie, we'd put a video in. We'd all have some drinks, or we'd head up to the FOP lodge and shoot pool till 2, 3 in the morning. I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't associate with any of my friends. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you couldn't do that. So
I hate to get too far off the subject, but during that time, that's a whole year of your life you spent doing that particular portion of it. Was there ever a person that was in that life that you felt sympathetic for, that you did not want to have to, arrest or bust or have busted? Was there somebody that really just kind of grabbed you as the potential of being a good human being that deserved an opportunity to fix themselves?
Well, there was this young black kid that saw us driving down the road, and he knew we were in an area looking for drugs, looking for crack. And he came up and said, you guys looking for a couple rocks? And we said, yeah. And we literally saw him walk over to a street corner and pick up a couple pieces of gravel and he tried coming over and sell it to us, and we kept saying no, it wasn't that, and he just kept insisting, and to where he got to the point where he wanted money for his rocks, and he wound up actually selling us 2 pieces of gravel that he claimed were crack cocaine, and I felt bad for him. I did, and I'm sure he got an attorney and got those charges pled out to where, because they have a charge for selling counterfeit drugs, and I really hoped it worked out for him, because all he wanted was a couple dollars. He needed some
Right.
money for food, and I felt bad, but um, when you're buying drugs from people that got a baby hooked to their hip, and it's kind of hard to feel sorry for somebody when they're dealing drugs in front of their children, but yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because it just seems like, I mean, as humans, we always look for the good in everybody, and it just seems
Yes.
like that world that you're not seeing any of that, and it's got to be very disheartening. You're actually kind of lucky that you came out of it okay. To be honest, I mean, you could have been dead in a heartbeat doing that. So I mean,
I only had one situation that I was nervous at one time, and I was down in the hood and trying to buy some drugs, and I had like 7 guys come around my car, and it was one of the few times I was by myself, and my gun was under my seat and I couldn't get to it. But I literally had guys leaning on both sides of my windows on both sides, and I was a little nervous that day, but nothing went bad, but yeah, I got lucky. I came home every day for 10 years. That was. But thank you for Dawn the Metal Detective. Thank you, and SWPA. Thank you. Um, but Cynthia's right here. Let's get back to Metal Detective. Cynthia's right. It's not what machine you swing, but how well you know your machine. Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, but that was the other, getting through to that. And so, so your girlfriend was making a little bit of YouTube videos, and then you decided that
Yeah, I
you
was actually gonna take this new hobby, and I was, I just started watching some YouTube videos. It's funny because, like I said earlier, I was from Baltimore, Maryland, and when you're from Baltimore, you have only the Baltimore and Philadelphia area have an accent where we use a lot of R's in our words. Like I pronounce water, Warter. It's just something from the Baltimore, Philly area. There's a lot of R's in our word, and it was funny. I was watching the Hoover Boys, and I was new to metal detecting. I was new to YouTube, and I'm watching these guys, and I'm listening to them. I'm like, man, all these guys got Baltimore accents. They all sound like a bunch of Baltimores. And then at the end of the video, they show their sticker that's got the state of Maryland flag on it, and then you find out they're all Baltimore firefighters. And so obviously, I felt a camaraderie with those guys, and I started watching them. And then I started seeing some of the other bigger channels. Now, I will tell you this: if I had seen those more before I'd seen Oak Island with the Mine Lab, I would have probably bought an Garrett AT Pro, because like 90% of the guys on YouTube, 95% were all using Garrett AT Pros, and they're waterproof. But see, I knew nothing about water detecting back then. When I went up to Georgia that first time and found a lake in a federal park, and I've always was told that you can't do national and federal parks, and I found out that's not true. I did a federal park that was run by the Army Corps of Engineers, and when I talked to the guard at the entrance, he says, "Oh yeah, you can go hunt our beach. You can hunt the beach in the water." Absolutely. So I paid my $5 and went into the park, and I put the Mine Lab shaft in, up to the control case. I didn't get that wet. But when I started finding my first coins in about 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water, oh my God, I was hooked on water detecting. And I actually say right in my videos, I'm leaving the beach, my next detector will be waterproof. And then about 6 months later, the Equinox came out.
Yeah, you're. If you would have started with the AT Pro on a saltwater beach, you might not have been that enamored with using that.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's mainly like for what, lakes and rivers?
Yeah, the saltwater really it really makes it get chattery really bad. My note to impact is the same way. When you get near saltwater, it just gets a little out of control. The Simplex is much better around the beach, but
Is
it's
it
the
really?
same thing.
Even though the knob to impact's a more expensive machine.
It's got a setting for it. It's just not. It's way too chattery around the beach. The Simplex for some reason is a much quieter around water, and that's why the Simplex and the Tersace is what's coming with me to Florida. The Impact's going to stay at home, so.
Well, I know. I hunted with Susie Q when she came down here from Georgia, and she had just gotten her simplex, and she absolutely loved it. And I've talked to other people with a simplex; they also love theirs. I will tell you, and I'll tell you this about the Equinox: you can be 3-4 feet in the Gulf of Mexico and walking down a sandbar 4 feet in the water in the Gulf, and that Equinox will not make a sound. It is as quiet as a church mouse. So when you run it over something and you either hear the signal in your headphones, or if you don't have the control panel underwater, you hear the control panel. I mean, it just screams out because the machine is so quiet in the salt water. And today I was doing the water line today. The surf was too rough to get in, but I was doing the water line right where the water kind of stops and the waves went back out. And that's where I found most of my jewelry. And that's where I find most of my jewelry on Clearwater Beach, is right at the water line. I'm giving my secret away here. But I mean, you could just be walking up down the beach, daydreaming, looking at bikinis, and all of a sudden, that thing screams out at you, and you got a target down there. Even if it's a little teeny target, it screams out at you.
Yeah, I want to make a couple of real quick little announcements. Like I said earlier, I'm not doing the live stream next week. And AZ Mort asked about doing a race today. Well, I'm not going to do a race today. But however, anybody that comes into next week for the stream, leave a comment for the video itself for next week's video, and then the following week when I come back to the live stream, we will use those comments as the entry to it. We'll do another race that time, and I think I'm gonna dole out one of my new mouse pads that's got my logo or the Thirsty Thursday logo on it. I'm not sure which one, but so comment on next week's video on Thursday, which is normal stream night. Comment there, and that will enter you in the following Thursday's stream, and then we will do a race that night and probably a couple other giveaways since I haven't done any in a minute. Rob, we're coming up on 10:30. I'm not going to hang out on here a whole lot longer than that. What days are you good next week? I mean, are you in? Because I'm not sure which day we're coming yet.
Actually, next week's a pretty open week for me.
So once we get settled in our room down there, or our house, I should say, I will probably be giving you a holler as soon as Alex.
I purposely didn't put anything on the schedule because I knew you guys are coming down, and I kind of figured you guys. I've had this note on my computer for a week now. Shane and Alex coming down on the 6/19, so it's been sitting on my computer, so I don't make any plans those days.
I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure it will either be it'll probably be Wednesday. I'm guessing that is probably going to be our day for sure. It's either probably going to be Wednesday or maybe Thursday. I'm not sure which one yet. Well, but it'll be one or the other.
Usually a good day because that's usually the day that Dalton has off. So that's usually a day that I've got planned for metal detecting anyway. So that'll work absolutely perfect. And if it's Thursday, that's fine too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be one of those days for sure. And like I said, what she's gonna try to do more so than anything is make sure she can schedule her tour, and then we'll be able to spend probably at least a good 6 to 8 hours that day there. So we're really looking forward to it. And then there's Metal Detecting North Carolina. Mike, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here tonight. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, Park Rat Pat says he wishes he was back in Florida to come over and meet us because he would drive over from the East Coast. It's like a 3-hour drive for him. But he would drive over to meet you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna come and see him, and then I think he told me that he was gonna be out traveling this time.
He's still up at families in Tennessee.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go right through there tomorrow. No, I can't. I'm not gonna take my wife detecting. She doesn't like that. So, but yeah, we're gonna head down a little.
Denise has no desire to go out metal detecting with me. Absolutely zero.
Really, that's the way it is, right?
But we have plenty. We were both huge Disney fans. I worked for Disney for 10 years. We both have Disney in common. So yeah, we're going to be making a trip to Disney next month. So we get to spend that time together.
But I was sitting there trying to think if there was any more. You got into the thing. I seen that you're coming up on 2K subs, aren't you, Rob? Is that getting close?
Yeah, I was at 1996, and somebody said they left me a sub tonight. So let's see. Let's see where I'm at.
If anybody hasn't gotten Rob, I'd like to see him hit 2K before we leave. I know everybody in here probably already knows, but it would be kind of cool. I mean, that's a huge number, honestly.
1999.
One more. Hey, I think that's going to constitute a giveaway, right?
Oh, well, and here you're going to laugh on this because everybody knows how late I am. My next giveaway will be my 1,200 subscriber giveaway. That's how far I'm behind on my big giveaways.
1,200. Hey,
Yes. So that means I have 8 more giveaways to do, big giveaways. I am going to have 6 or 7 pieces of silver in my 1,200 giveaway.
wow. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, when you're going to have to do it soon because you're going to have to do a 2K. I'll tell you what, I will force your hand a little bit. When I get down there, I will add a donation for your 2K giveaway. How's that?
You're the man because I hope to run it by the end of the month. So with you coming down next week, that'll be perfect timing.
Tom Riley says he is off on Friday. I will still be there on Friday, Tom. If
Well,
my
he'll be
wife
closer to you. Out of Orlando, Shane, he'll be closer to you out of Lakeland. From Lakeland to Orlando's only like 20-minute drive.
Yeah, Tom. The name of the place that we're at is it's called Champions Gate. It's got another name.
No, Champions Gate. Champions Gate's right at the back entrance to Disney by Animal Kingdom. Yeah, I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah, we're in that gated community there. If I just to give it away a little bit, we started this last year during COVID, but we decided to go all out on this trip, and we rented the Harry Potter house at Champions Gate. It's by Loma Homes. It's called the Wizard's Way House. If y'all want to look it up and check out where we're going to be staying, Alex and I are going to be doing quite a bit of recording while we're down there. She's got they changed over. We got the sports channel, and then we took the cards off of the sports channel and made just a card opening channel for her and Shelby, and it's called Card Sharks, and we're having a lot of fun with that. We've only got 13 subscribers or so on there, but they like the Pokemon cards and stuff there too, so we've been knocking that out. Alex, drop the link for Card Sharks while you're sitting there. And
I just put my channel name in for Willie Stembridge.
Yeah. But anyway, that's where we're staying when we get down there. We're going to have a blast and be down there for a week. Everybody that's in here tonight, make sure you check out everybody else. I mean, that's always the goal. Make some new friends. That's the best find that's come out of posting videos on YouTube is that I've made friends where I'm not really very good at making friends. So that's always one of the better things. And Rob, I can't wait to get down there to see you.
I'm really looking forward to meeting you and Alex. I really am. Like I say, I went past the Bucks facility the other day, coming out of the old area historic neighborhood that we were hunting. So I know within 10 minutes of the stadium, I can have you on, like I say, 1920s houses.
Yeah, I might actually get a detector in her hand that day for a little while. Maybe it's possible, but maybe not. But I mean, I know that we're going to have a few of them with us. So, but anyway, I will definitely hang out that day and swing, and we're going to have a blast. But I am going to cut this thing to the end here right now. Anybody else that wants to post a channel up here before we get out of here, looking for some subscribers and some new support.
Thank you, Marlon. Marlon just posted the link to my channel. Thank you, Marlon. Deej, that's awesome, Deej. Denise supports me too. She just doesn't want to do it with me. North Carolina. Yeah, I would imagine it's great to have your partner like your rings. Tommy says he's 83 miles from Champions Gate. Yeah, you're right there by Black Lake Road. I know exactly. Like I say, I drove in the back way to Disney when I worked there because I worked 7 years at Animal Kingdom. And oh, have you been to Universal and seen both the Harry Potter worlds?
No, that's the first thing we're doing. I think we're doing that on Monday, and then after that, that's the main thing that we're doing.
They did a phenomenal job. Diagon Alley, go get your butterbeer or whatever they call it, and go to Diagon Alley. If Alex is a huge Harry Potter fan, my older sister is a huge Harry Potter fan, and she just soaked in every minute of that Harry Potter land.
Yeah, that's probably the first thing that we're doing when we get down there. And we are probably going to come back to this area again because we figured it's a great area and we can branch out and go different places because you're about 2 hours from just about a lot. And when you're
2 hours from my coast and you're an hour and 15 minutes from Pat's coast on the East Coast. So you're never more than like an hour and a half, 2 hours from water in the state of Florida from somewhere.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm gonna,
is Alex doing her stream after this one?
Yeah, we will be doing sports talk from 11 till probably at least 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
tonight.
people come over to It's in the Blood. Come over to Alex's stream. Shane's daughter, who's got her sports. We have fun there too. We don't always talk about sports.
We will bash Tom Brady.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will. Well, she will. I won't.
Brockton Magnificia, where's Rob's link? Go up about 5 comments above your sir. Mayor's videos, put it in there. Tonight's guest. He put the link to my channel.
I'll get it again. Hold on. Since I find it. God dang it. There it is. Right there. But anyway, as always, everybody, I appreciate it. Next Thursday's live stream will be replaced with a video. Leave a comment to the video, and that will enter you in a giveaway the following Thursday when we will try to get Metal Detecting Wisconsin back in here again. And hopefully his internet will be back up and we won't have to worry about him cutting in and out.
Wait a minute. Diana said she's 2001. I'm hitting the refresh on my computer. Boom, 2003. 4 more of you people came over. Thank you, Diana.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Lodak. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ann.
Heck yeah. 2000. That's a big number, buddy.
It is. I in my wildest dreams could never think of that. And that's you can see I've got the ear-to-ear smile. Thank you, folks, very much. That's beyond my wildest dream. Thanks, you guys. And like I say, Shane, when I started coming to some of your streams and you started telling about the Magnet guys, man, they've been great coming over to the channel. And I've been trying to go leave them comments on their videos because they've been such a great group too. Guys, thank you very much for this tonight.
Hey,
you guys are awesome.
This community is fantastic. Every single treasure hunter that comes in here, we love them all, and it's a lot of fun and have a lot of fun doing it. Rob, I did not even scratch the surface. We'll have to do this again this fall.
Buddy, when you're having fun like this and you're doing good conversation, it just flies by.
I know, but absolutely, I got 27 minutes to get ready for next round. I thank everybody for coming in tonight. I will see you guys next time.
All right, we're going to go see you over at It's in the Bloodstream. Boom.